Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our April the 29th Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well. The title of the meditation for today, Our Willingness Makes a Difference. When we show up with an open mind and a willingness to be of service, the rewards can be far greater than our efforts. Living clean, Chapter 5, Family. A nudge from a sponsor, a longing to be a part of NA, a hunger for validation. Any of these might be our initial inspiration to serve. Regardless of what motivates us, the rewards of service quickly become apparent. It feels good to be a part of the beehive of activity that goes into keeping the doors open and meetings running smoothly. We feel a sense of belonging as home group members greet us by name and invite us to check out our meetings or check out other meetings. We welcome new members and introduce them to others who have their best interests at heart. Realizing that we fit that description, too, we offer our phone number and some advice. If you don't pick up, you can't get high. Call one of us if the disease starts talking to you. We're humbled to think that our willingness to be of service might make a difference for a potential new member. Viewed with an open mind, we realize that it's already made a difference for us. While groups remain the most powerful vehicle for carrying the message, the NA service infrastructure exists to amplify our ability to fulfill this primary purpose. Members contribute to the good and necessary work organized by service bodies large and small. All of these efforts are geared to helping more addicts find their way to the rooms. We offer our time and effort and find ourselves becoming more invested, more connected, and more alive. Our willingness to show up and pitch in means that our groups have current meeting directories, that cops and doctors send addicts our way, that websites provide the latest information, and that incarcerated members get sponsors and NA literature. Our primary purpose inspires all of these service efforts and more. We show up with the still suffering addict in mind and find that our burdens are lessened by our generosity. Our service to NA affects who we are and how we interact with the world. Within NA and beyond, we do loving things for our families and communities and experience love in return. Our insights compel us to keep showing up and giving back and enjoying the rewards. I am willing to show up and give of myself today. It will keep me clean and remind me of the abundance I enjoy as a result of the life I found in Narcotics Anonymous. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. So we're talking about being of service and how being of service, just our willingness, makes a difference. And our willingness makes a difference, not just for ourselves, but for others. It's talking about going from being served to being of service. In the last meditation, we talked about going from fear to having faith. Now we're talking about being able to go from being a receiver of the benefits or of the service work of others to being someone that actually is able to benefit others by being of service. Again, I want to say it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen if you have the willingness. All of the things when you came to Narcotics Anonymous, whether it was good or whether it was bad, all of the things that you experienced when you came to NA, you would not have been able to get any of it had it not been for addicts being willing to do service work. No one there, I'm sure there's some people that get paid, right? At World Service. I'm sure there are some positions where they have had to hire people. I'm sure of that, right? Because of the type of organization it is, it's going to require someone receive a paycheck. But by far, the majority of the experience that the average everyday person experiences with Narcotics Anonymous is a direct result of someone having the willingness to be of service, to do something without expecting anything other than the good feeling of being able to give back freely what was freely given to them. I said a mouthful, but I want you to let that sit. The majority of us are receiving freely what we experience in Narcotics Anonymous. And the majority of us have the ability to move away from receiving service to being of service. But the majority will never take that plunge. The majority will never move out of their comfort zone. And instead of being the person that shows up at the meeting 5 minutes late, be the person that shows up to the meeting 30 minutes ahead of time to open up the doors and get the meeting prepared. It doesn't happen because we think about doing it. It happens because there are people that are willing to give of themselves and do it. I'm ecstatic to be of service when I can be. It's amazing to me to watch people at conventions be of service. And some people, when they have been up hours on end and they're dealing with our population, us, how complicated we can be, sometimes they become weary and it shows. When you're at a convention, you can see by the way the person is acting that they're overwhelmed. They're doing too much service. They haven't gotten the break that they need. You can always go to a convention and indicate that you're willing to be of service. And being of service doesn't always mean being the speaker. Doing a workshop, it doesn't always mean that. There's other things that aren't recorded per se, right? Like being a greeter, being a serenity keeper, right? Helping keep the marathon meeting running 24/7 for the duration of the convention. There's so many things at a convention that you can just show up and say, I want to be of service. I have friends that travel all across the country to conventions, not because one, they have the finances to be able to do it, but not because they're just, let's go to a convention every weekend. No, they show up and they say, I want to be of service. That's what they do. They go to conventions just simply to serve. And he's probably, listening to me say that, but it's the truth. He just drives around from convention to convention to be of service. There's people that I know that do that. So I don't know. I believe that wherever you are, they need you. Now, if you are a person and you're new, you're shut in, even if you're shut in, There are platforms. I list one platform that I am very much a part of, the 24/7 online marathon meeting of Narcotics Anonymous. Can you imagine keeping the doors open on Zoom 24/7, having to watch 100 or so people hour after hour to make sure that there's no bombers, to answer questions for the newcomer is in the chat, to make sure the meeting people get a chance to share and that they're sharing and maintaining an atmosphere of recovery. If you have more than a year clean and have some experience with Zoom, they need volunteers. I guarantee you right now, there's probably at least 10 to 20 hours in a week that we don't have covered. That someone that has already done some service work or they're on the call in list will have to come in and do the meeting because otherwise the meeting has to go down. So if you've had some clean time, a year, and you've had some experience with Zoom, it's a small process to email the training committee and have them get back to you. You answer a few questions. They make sure that you are of a sound mind and they train you. They sit with you during certain meetings to make sure that you can actually do the work of hosting a meeting on Zoom. But even if you're shut in, I know you can do that. Right? There's ways for us to be of service, and that has been one of my greatest pleasures in our in the time that I've been here is being a host on the international 24/7 meeting. I just love it. I just love it. All right. Well, I'm not going to go too much further into this meditation other than to say our primary purpose inspires all of the service efforts that we've talked about and more. There's so much that is going on behind the scenes. The telephone lines, the literature, the meetings all over the world. There's so much to it, and it took time to develop it. And for the most part, all of it was done for free. No one got a paycheck for showing up at a meeting place and making sure the doors were open for the meeting, cleaning up behind everyone when they leave, making sure the bathrooms are kept presentable and decent. I've been in some really crazy meeting places, right? Where you've had to make sure, right, that when you left that you didn't carry something out of the meeting with you, right? Some insect or, something like that. There's been some really, really rugged places that I've enjoyed meetings at. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again because it didn't happen as easy as people like to make it seem. There's cultures of meetings, right? There's diversity in meetings. But pretty much all of the meetings are ran the same way. They do the readings, they open up to share, and they make sure that people share in a timely fashion so that others can share. Be a part, get in. There's nothing like being a part of that beehive of activity. I agree with that statement. Listen, family, my name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to have a beautiful day on purpose. I have about 29 more minutes to myself before the boys get up, and I'm going to move into some other meditations that I do for myself, right? That I do, well, all of them are for myself, but some of the other ones that I enjoy, right? That are not recovery related, that are not 12-step program related. So I want for you to start branching out. I want for you to branch out. We do these meditations together, but there's other things to read, other things to benefit from. Take some time and figure out one other piece of literature that you can add to your day. or one video of affirmations that you can add to your day. Make it great on purpose. Talk to you soon.